Hey everybody, welcome to week 6. Sorry this video is coming a little bit late, so I wanted to talk a little bit about what we are getting into this week and some of the things you can expect. The first thing I wanted to point out, I sent you an email about this, but you may have also noticed it in the news section, is that we're going to have some guest speakers this semester, not specifically for this class, but for the entire Edge Club. So the Edge Club is the student organization for digital media students, and they have 3 guest speakers that are going to be coming to speak, and the first one is actually this Thursday, so you can find that information in the news section. It's Katie Cole and Kaylin Ogle from Volition Games. They are also former graduates, or I guess current graduates, of the department, and so you can come and hear them talk and ask questions, and that's open to everyone. So let's hop into what's going on this week in class. So I've had a chance to glance at some of the maze projects or maze exercises from last week's discussion, and it's looking really cool. So great work, you all. And I know it was a tight deadline, and I know some people contacted me and said that they weren't completely happy with what they turned in, and that's all right. Like it was a learning experience, and I'm grading it more of on a did you do it or not basis, not necessarily how good is it basis. Recognize that these are sort of exercises for you to get practice at what we're going to be doing a little bit later next week. So kind of the same goes for this week. If we go look at week 6, we have our video lessons and we have a rig. We also have a discussion post for doing a bouncing ball animation, and it's probably similarly scoped to the maze animation, about the same amount of work. But again, the point of this is to learn how this animation works. So if you're having trouble with rendering or whatever, just you can turn in a play blast. More than anything, it's getting the practice of doing this animation and learning from it, because project 2, we're going to have some animations that really build upon these 2 exercises. So you'll see if you go through the lessons here, the video lessons, that this is more about setting keyframes and understanding how to refine the animation. And so we mainly start focusing in on the graph editor and how the graph editor works, and really how you can interpret graphs, period. So the graph, I know people have a lot of baggage with graphing data, but in this case, the graph editor is just another way for you to control the character's motion or the object's motion. And so when you can start thinking of it as a tool that you are able to use to create art, it becomes a little less intimidating. So all of the videos this week are primarily focused on working within the graph editor, and then how to use the graph editor to create the bouncing ball. So just going through the lessons will pretty much get you what you need for the discussion post this week. By the time you're done with video 9, if you're walking through these lessons, you'll have your discussion post done, right? I want to remind everybody that you don't have to create your own bouncing ball. There is a ball rig that is part of that, and you'll see that is under the content section of week 6 right here, the ball rig. It's a zip file, so you'll have to download that and then extract it using 7-zip or some other extractor tool that you have. Recognize that a zip file is not a Maya file, so people have that issue every now and then where they just try to open this file in Maya. Maya won't open this. You have to download this somewhere, and then after you've downloaded that, you'll see that in the scenes folder there's our ball rig, and that's where you're going to be able to get the animation or do the animation on that object. So again, the assessment, you can turn in revisions for project 1. That's always there. But the other thing is the bouncing ball exercise, and really it's just animating a bouncing ball for this to show that you understand how to make this ball have weight and finesse the animation using the graph editor. you'll just post a video of that. It can be a Viewport 2.0 or an Arnold render, or you can do a Playblast. A couple of issues that people were running into last week that I did want to address is if you have Arnold lights in your scene and then try to render with Hardware 2.0 or Maya software, it's not going to render very well. For most people, they're just getting a black screen. At the very least, the lighting is not going to look correct. So recognize that when you're creating this and when you're putting lights into your scene. The maze was set up to render with Arnold, and so when people were trying to render with Hardware 2.0 or something else, it was giving them a lot of problems. And so yeah, of course, you'll turn in your animation by Thursday, and then 2 comments by Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you get out of this. So we build very directly on this bouncing ball in next week when we start the breakfast scene. And so we don't immediately start animating on that, but we start a larger project where we're going to build an entire scene. You'll have some files that you start with. We'll get some texture experience on that. We'll get some experience rigging for something that is going to deform a little bit more. We'll get some more experience animating, bringing stuff to life, and then we'll also get a little bit of simulation experience where we simulate some cereal pouring out of a cereal box. So it's a big project, and we're going to get started on that next week. So just kind of wanted to let you know that if you were still wrapping up maybe some revisions or just so you can kind of emotionally ramp up for this larger project that we have coming soon. Again, if you have questions along the way, feel free to email me, or if you want to stop by the office hours, that's fine as well. And I'll be happy to help you work through any of this, or even if you just have questions. Thanks again, and let me know if you need any help, and I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great week.